Today, I'm going to show off a couple new knives that have made it back into my collection. When I say back, some of these are duplicates that I've had in the past, and I got them again for a reason. So let's get to it. Let's start off with the very first duplicate, and the very first duplicate Civivi I've ever owned, short of the Elementum, which doesn't count because the S35 versus D2. That is the Civivi Doris. I believe they discontinued this model, and I always rant and rave about how good it is. But I haven't felt one in over a year and a half, and I've experienced quite a bit of knives since then, so I wanted to get it and see if it was all that I remember it to be. To be perfectly honest, this is exactly the way I remember it to be. This is still one of my favorite Civivis ever, and I think it's kind of your bare bones. It's not a big knife, but it's a big knife type of thing. I really enjoy the Civivi Durus. I'm sad to see them go. I hope they keep making some form of them. Maybe a micarta version, that'd be cool. And this is just one that holds a little bit of nostalgic factor to me because this was the very first Civivi that I was like, this is it. This and the Praxis were my dudes. The Civivi Doris. This thing's freaking awesome. Deep hollow grind, beautiful satin finish, D2 blade steel. You can pick these up for what, like 60 bucks? It's a little overpriced for D2, but you know, I think the design warrants it. It's a big little knife that makes me happy. Next is a brand new one that I'm just experiencing for a first time, and that is the Spyderco Spy Opera. I got this off of Spyderco's website using that discount code, whatever, not discount code, but it's like a veteran's discount thing. So I wanted to check this out for quite some time. Now what I did notice is this thing did not come centered. Just gonna throw that out there. I'm gonna try to fix that for the review, but this did not come centered. But the action is ultra smooth. They crown the spine and they crown the back lock. Wow, this really feels like a classy little knife. It's so ultra thin that it's just gonna be pretty much your everyday little slicer. I think this is kind of like your pocket paring knife, if you will. Made by Lion Steel in Italy. The action is, like I said, really smooth. You can almost shake it shut and then do that. Pretty cool guy, pretty excited to check this out. Next, we have this awesome little stabby looking guy. This is the Eric Oaks Osprey. I believe this is a Rayot OEM, and if not, they did some damn good work on whoever it is, because you got these cool little milling patterns on this faux bolster area. It is a bolster lock. You have this carbon fiber plate. It's a wide bolster lock, but you do have that going on. No milling on the inside. Basically matching sides, which is cool, and an ambidextrous pocket clip. You can see here that little square comes out, and it's a recessed pocket clip. Very, very cool. Okay looking popsicle stick pocket clip. Back spacer with this gear pattern on it. That feels nice. And you know what? In hand, I really don't feel it, but maybe over use you will. A relatively thick blade stock. If I had to guess, 140 to 150 thousandths. But you could see with their grind, you have this awesome, awesome, aggressive swedge, almost like a false edge. And then this very, very deep hollow grind on this narrow blade. If you did not do a hollow grind, you would have not been able to come down to such a narrow behind the edge. The action, in typical Rayot fashion, is pretty damn good. I will say the detent's a little strong. Not crazy, but a little strong. You can reverse flick it. I doubt that I can get this open with my thumb. Oh, there it is. We did get it, but it's not comfortable. I would have to work on this action or open it up, check for burrs or something, because it is relatively stiff. But this is this really cool little knife to carry. It's going to be super simple, and it's going to accomplish most of your tasks that you need to do, because despite being small, it does have a relatively lengthy blade compared to its size. This is the Eric Oaks Osprey. Like I said, I believe Rayot design. I think the M390 blade steel, all that jazz. Next on the list is this behemoth, the 4Max. Yes, this is the big boy version. This is the $400, whatever, made in Taiwan and S35 steel. This thing's a monster. The camera can't even fit it all in hand. Let's zoom out for this. Look at this. This thing is awesome. Ergonomically, it's perfect. The action on it is dumb. I mean, triad lock and all. This is just an awesome Demco design that I really like. I really have no purpose for this, though. I mean, this is something that's I don't know what I need this for. And size comparatively, here's that Osprey next to it. But that's a small knife, right? Let's check out a larger knife next to it. Here's your Offgrid Scorpion. Almost as long, but how dwarfed is that compared to this knife? So why I got this, I forgot what website it was on, but they were offering this for $200. And I was like, dude, there's no way I can't do that. For $400, I don't see myself ever purchasing this. But for $200, yeah, why not? G10, S35, it kind of fits everything that you might need if you're gonna go hack some stuff down. This is a Cold Steel 4 Max, very, very cool. Be careful, it will chop off your frickin' finger or chop into your mat. As shown, this is your Offgrid Scorpion. This is the third time I've owned this knife. It's kind of funny. I got this in a trade with Jake from Ohio State. This one won't be sticking around quite as long, but I can't tell you guys how good of a knife this actually is. If you guys are on the fence about the Offgrid Scorpion, but you know you want it, just do it. That's how good this thing is. And both models, both the Wii and the Best Tech versions, are very, very good. I would recommend getting something without the satin blade, but you can totally reverse flick it off of anything else. That satin blade is just a little too slick. But it's a big, beefy knife in hand, super solid, super tanky, damn near 4 inches, so be mindful of that. But the action is dumb, and oh my gosh, Offgrid's design on this is just amazing. Last but not least, going back to my roots, this is the QSP Puffin. Now I got this because Corey over there at the Practical Blade and I were kind of talking like about knives that really shook us in our, I guess you could call it, growing up phase of knives. And the Puffin was one that always stuck with me, and I always kind of regretted getting rid of mine. And I'm like, I based my perceptions off of QSP off of that Puffin, because every other one I got wasn't as good, short of the QSP Legatus. They did a really good job, but that's also a super expensive knife. This is a $130 to $140 knife for S35 titanium carbon fiber inlays and action that rivals anything. And I mean anything, guys. It takes about a day for this guy to break in, and once it does, freaking credible. No back and forth, no up and down, very easy to access. If you can't reverse flick, they make a model with thumb studs. If you're really good at reverse flicking and you don't want the faller, they make a model with nothing, and you can just reverse flick it off the blade, which I can do right there. Took me a second. Boop. There you go. Reverse flicking off of the blade and not the faller. Works just fine. Thumb flicking is not the easiest on this guy because it's really hard to get in there, but you can do it. But oh my gosh, is this such a good knife for the price. All three of these are some of my favorite knives to carry in this size range, and I really do love them all. The QSP Penguin is definitely a really good knife for 90 to 100 bucks. Action's great, just 2 slabs of titanium, kind of bare bones, just really functional blade shape, just all around good knife. 154 cm. This one in particular is the Benchmade Bug Out in 20 CV and Flightanium scales. Really, really cool, really great knife, super slicey, super fidgety, fun to work with. But if you wanted to do all that to this knife, you're looking at probably 260 to 300 bucks, because I did throw in a backspacer as well. For all you people that are like, you spent that in a Bug Out, go to hell. You go to hell, I like it. Last though, the QSP Puffin, 130 to 140 bucks, S35 VN, a beautiful carbon fiber inlay that they did such a good job with, an action that is better than probably any knife that I own, and I'm not kidding, short of the CKF Fife. This thing is just probably my best action that I own knife as far as just smooth, well-built tolerances. And this is about 475 bucks to get this. You can get that for 130 bucks when you're talking action. So these were just some of the new knives that I received recently. Wanted to show them and share them with you guys. Let me know which one's your favorite in the comments below. Or better yet, instead of that, let me know what your newest knife is and how you're liking it.